It was one of those slow Sunday afternoons at the local grocery store, the kind where everyone's tired, quiet, and just trying to get home. The express lane had a long line, but nobody complained. There were old folks with bread and milk, a mom with two kids holding cereal boxes, and me, just grabbing some coffee and dog food. It was peaceful, until she showed up. You could hear her before you saw her. The sound of squeaky heels, the sharp click of her cart filled to the brim, meats, cases of soda, wine bottles, paper towels stacked like towers, and then that voice. "Excuse me, I'm in a hurry," she announced, cutting straight past everyone and shoving her cart into the express lane marked 10 items or less. The cashier looked up, confused. "Ma'am, this lane's for small purchases only." She smiled like she owned the place. "Oh, don't worry, I'm just buying a few essentials." A few essentials? She had enough stuff to feed an army. The man in front of me muttered under his breath, "Here we go again." Karen heard it. "Excuse me, I have every right to be here." The cashier tried to stay polite. "Man, we just have to keep the express lane moving for everyone else." She slammed a box of frozen dinners on the counter. "Then ring me up fast. My time is valuable." That's when the lady behind me, quiet, maybe in her 60s, spoke up. "So is everyone else's, dear. We've all been waiting." Karen spun around. "You don't understand. I have somewhere to be." The old lady didn't even flinch. "Then you should have come earlier, sweetheart." A few people chuckled. You could feel the air shift. Everyone had been too polite, too patient for too long. Karen's face turned red. "This is ridiculous. I spend hundreds here every week." The cashier looked calm but firm now. "Ma'am, store policy says we can't check out more than 10 items in this lane. You'll need to move to register 4. Karen crossed her arms. "No, you can't make me." And that's when the man who'd been bagging groceries stepped forward, phone in hand, recording everything. "You're right," he said. "We can't make you, but this video might." Her eyes darted toward the camera. "Are you seriously recording me?" He nodded. "Sure am. Internet loves line cutters." Everyone started smiling, whispering. Karen's eyes widened, realizing this was turning against her fast. She stammered, "Fine, I'll just go to another store," and yanked her cart back so hard it nearly tipped over. As she stormed off, the old lady smiled softly and said, "Bless her heart." The cashier rang me up next, still grinning. "You ever notice how they always say they're in a hurry but somehow have time to argue for 10 minutes? I laughed. Every time. By the time I got to my car, Karen's cart was abandoned by the door, half her groceries melting in the sun. And the viral moment of the day? That quiet old lady's line. People online were quoting it everywhere. "If your time's so valuable, try not wasting it being rude." The next morning, she came back. Same store, same heels, but this time with a different kind of confidence. Her phone was already recording as she marched through the sliding doors like she was about to deliver breaking news. The cashier from yesterday froze mid-scan. The same old lady from before wasn't there, but half the staff already knew who Karen was, the woman from the viral video that hit 300,000 views overnight. She headed straight for the manager's office, filming everything. "This place humiliated me yesterday. I was targeted, disrespected, and illegally filmed. I demand an apology." The manager, a calm man in his 40s, Sam, stepped out of his office holding a clipboard. "Ma'am, we didn't film you. That was another customer." She snapped. "It doesn't matter. You allowed it to happen. My reputation is ruined because of this store." Sam stayed polite. "Ma'am, you cut into an express lane with over 50 items and yelled at customers. That's what people saw." Her voice cracked. "I was in a hurry. My mother's sick." He nodded softly. "I'm sorry to hear that, but that doesn't give you the right to treat others badly." She blinked, caught off guard. That wasn't the argument she expected. "So you're not apologizing?" He sighed. "No, ma'am, but I'll tell you what I will do. I'll refund everything you bought yesterday if you promise to stop yelling at my staff." For a moment, the mask slipped. She didn't want a refund. She wanted control. "I'm going to call corporate," she said finally, pulling out her phone. Sam didn't flinch. "Please do. They already know. They sent me the video." Her face went pale. "They what?" He turned his clipboard around. On it was a printout of a corporate email. "Store handled situation professionally. Do not engage further. Support staff safety." Karen's jaw dropped.
She tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. Around her, shoppers pretended not to watch, though phones were definitely recording again. Sam leaned forward just slightly. "Ma'am, everyone deserves respect in here, even when we're tired, even when life's hard. Maybe that's the message you take from all this." Karen's eyes glossed over with something that looked like embarrassment. She opened her mouth, closed it again, and finally whispered, "I just wanted people to treat me like I mattered." Sam gave a small nod. "Then start by treating them the same way." For once, she didn't argue. She turned, pushed her empty cart to the corner, and walked out quietly. The next day, someone found a note taped to the store door. No name, no apology, just 5 words written in shaky handwriting. "I'm learning to wait too." The staff left it there all week. And that was the viral moment that ended the whole saga. Not the shouting, not the confrontation, but the soft truth that hit harder than any argument. Waiting teaches patience faster than punishment ever could.
By the time the photo of that handwritten note hit social media, everything flipped. The internet that had roasted Karen a few days earlier suddenly went quiet. People zoomed in on the shaky handwriting, the faint smudge of what looked like a teardrop near the corner, and started guessing what had changed. Comments flooded in. "That looks real, not for clout. Maybe she finally got it. I've been that person once, angry at the wrong people." Within hours, #LearningToWait started trending. Folks from everywhere, Texas, Oregon, even Canada, began posting their own stories about times they'd snapped, cut in line, or lashed out, then felt guilty after. Someone even printed the phrase on t-shirts, "I'm learning to wait too." Meanwhile, Karen stayed off camera. No posts, no angry rants, just silence. Until one quiet Friday, the grocery store's Facebook page uploaded a new photo. Karen herself, hair tied back, wearing an apron, standing next to a donation box labeled "Food Drive for Families in a Hurry." The caption read, "She asked to help. We said yes." The comments blew up again, but this time with support. "This is growth. Proud of her. We all make mistakes." Even Sam, the manager, posted one short reply that got more likes than the photo itself. She didn't need to be punished. She needed to be heard. 1 week later, when I stopped by the store, I saw her bagging groceries, smiling awkwardly but trying. She caught my eye, recognized me from that day in line, and for a second looked nervous. Then she said softly, "Hey, sorry about that day." I smiled back. "Hey, we all have those days." She nodded, then helped an older man load his bread and eggs. "You first, sir," she said, stepping aside. The man smiled, thanked her, and everyone around noticed. Sometimes redemption doesn't come with applause. It comes quietly, in the same aisles where the fall happened. And the viral line that wrapped it all up came from a comment under that last photo, one that got shared more than the video itself. "The loudest apology is change." When the local news station finally found her, Karen didn't hide. She met them outside the same sliding doors, same faint smell of coffee and bread, but this time she wasn't wearing her heels or expensive sunglasses, just jeans, a plain sweater, and a nervous smile. The reporter, a young woman named Elise, held out a mic and said gently, "Karen, your story's gone viral twice now, once for the argument and once for the note. Why come forward now?" Karen hesitated. Her eyes flicked toward the store windows where a few employees watched quietly. "Because people only saw the part where I was awful. They didn't see why." Elise nodded. "Then tell us." Karen took a breath, voice shaking a little. "That day, I was rushing to the hospital. My mom, she'd had a stroke. I got the call in the parking lot and I panicked. The line felt like a wall. I snapped at strangers because I couldn't control anything else. There was a long pause. A truck rolled by. Somewhere in the distance, a kid laughed. But," she continued, "that doesn't excuse what I did. I've replayed that moment 100 times. The looks on their faces. That old lady's voice, it hit me later how cruel I sounded. And she was right. I was wasting my time being rude."
Elise asked softly, "What made you leave that note?" Karen looked down. "I couldn't sleep for days. I kept thinking about how people filmed me, how I looked, how angry I was. Then I realized maybe the world didn't need another apology video. Maybe it needed proof that people can actually change. So I went back to the place I embarrassed myself and tried to fix something, even a little." Elise smiled. "And how's that going?" Karen glanced over at the food donation box sitting by the door, now almost overflowing. "Better than I deserve," she said quietly. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. The camera zoomed in as a shopper walked past, dropping a can of soup into the box. Elise lowered the mic. "If you could say one thing to the people watching, the ones who judged you or the ones who defended you, what would it be?" Karen's answer was simple. Patience isn't about waiting quietly. It's about understanding. Loudly. We all mess up, but what matters is what we do after. The interview aired that night, and within hours people were calling it the most human thing on TV all week. Even the old lady who'd stood up to her that day commented under the clip, "She learned her lesson. That's enough for me." And just like that, the story that began with anger ended with empathy. Not because Karen tried to erase her mistake, but because she let the world see her grow past it. The final viral line, repeated everywhere from TikTok to morning shows, summed it up. Sometimes the person who cuts the line learns to lead it by example.